Bernie.
Hey, hi Rezan. How are you today?
Hi, Mr. Bernie, and you?
Very well, very well. I'm happy to be home. It's unusually warm here today. I'm wearing my short
Oh,
sleeves and very nice and warm. How about for you?
it's not so warm, but it's not
Okay.
that much cold neither.
Yeah, yeah. Sooner or later it will get cold here, but right now it's nice and warm. Rezan, I wanted to ask you the when I sent the new reservations this morning, was
Yeah,
that was the email, was the message from you or from your sister?
it's for me, from
From
me.
you. Okay. Did you notice that the times I sent you for January, February, and March are a little bit later?
Yeah,
Okay. You know your cousin Rizgar, right?
yes.
Okay. His class is before you on Monday, but
Oh, okay.
they are leaving Cambly because they're moving to Germany.
Oh, really?
When they do leave, I will move your class a little bit earlier.
Okay.
Okay. But I have to wait until they leave Cambly and cancel their classes. I don't want to I don't know exactly when they're leaving, but I will try to make your class a little bit earlier. Okay?
I understand.
All right. Okay. So, how are things? I know you went back to school this week.
Yeah,
How did it go?
actually, sorry. It's well until now. We don't do so many things, and
Hmm.
my exams are start to uh, I, we start seeing the marks, and
Hmm.
on the other hand, we have lost uh, 2 months for the 15 days holiday,
Okay. Okay.
and we have a month for the other quizzes, and that's all.
Okay. Okay. It sounds like you're already looking forward to the next vacation.
Yeah,
Yeah, I understand. I understand. Um, Rezan, before we talk about new words for today, let's remember what we did last week. And let me look at my notes here. The last time we talked about the word innocuous. And what do you
yes.
remember about innocuous?
Um, Nothing.
You don't remember it.
Yeah, I don't remember.
That's okay. That's okay. You were on vacation. Maybe you weren't thinking about it. So, do you remember this word?
I understand. Yeah.
So, and remember, I showed you a spider that looked kind of scary, but it's not,
Yes.
and it doesn't actually hurt you. So,
That
something
can
innocuous
count.
will not hurt you. Okay?
Yes.
Okay. Now, today's word, I wanted to start. I just got home and I have to take my shoes off. They're kind of tight. Okay. I wanted to look at a map of Turkey before we look at today's word. Now, you're in Ankara, right?
Yeah.
And I noticed around Ankara, it looks very dry. This part of Turkey
Uh,
looks very, very dry.
yes.
Now, when Rizgar and Zaria were living in Trabzon, several times they called me when they were outside, and I noticed that Trabzon was much greener than
Yes.
Ankara,
Because it's near the
right,
sea.
because of the sea, right? They're close to it. And of course, when
Yeah.
they moved down to Mardin, and when you sent me pictures of Mardin, that was very, very dry. Okay, a very
Yes.
dry place. So today's word is a good word to know if you live in a dry place. So take a look at this word. Rezan, how do you think you would pronounce this word?
Uh, Arts.
Perfect. Arid. Right. Arid.
Arab.
And it was in the New York Times 113 times last year. And the definition is really easy. This will be an easy thing for you to remember.
Okay.
So it would be like a desert. Okay. And that would be very, very dry. Now, do you remember last summer when you and your family went to Mardin? And
Yeah.
I don't know who sent me all the pictures. Was that Bauer or was that you?
My father actually.
Your dad? Okay. And I noticed that Martin looked very arid.
Yes.
Yes, very, very sunny, very hot. And that would be arid. So arid is the kind of word that you would use when you talk about a desert. Arid would be the kind of word that you would use when you talk about Mars.
Oh, okay.
Now, where I live in the United States, if I were to show you the same kind of map from NASA, whoops, you would see that it's all green because we get a lot of rain here and it's a warm climate. And until the leaves fall off the trees in autumn, it's very, very green. The grass is green. It's very, very green. And so that's a difference. I would never call where I live arid. Okay?
I understand it.
Now, I want to do a second word today. And I will ask you about them when I see you on Monday. So I want you to make sure that you remember them. This is the second word for today. Okay, give it a try. See if you can say it.
Deficiency.
Say it a little faster.
Deficient.
Deficient. Deficient.
Okay.
Deficient. Now, Rezan, you may know that some words that start with DE are negative words.
Yeah.
Like defeat, denigrate, which means to insult or speak badly about someone. So deficient is a negative word. Okay. So let me put it in the chat. It is an adjective.
I understand.
Okay.
I got it.
So Rezan, if you were trying to get ready for a test and you studied and you got a 60, your dad might say, I'm sorry, son, but that's deficient. That's just not good enough. You can do better. Okay. Or if you spent all your money doing something, I don't know what, and you didn't have any money left, you might say, well, my funds are deficient right now. I'm all out of money. Okay. You might even use that when you talk about your internet signal. Did you ever have a time when you had difficulty getting on Cambly because of internet problems?
Yes.
You might say, my signal is deficient right now. Okay.
Okay.
Now, deficient is an adjective. You see that it was in the New York Times 132 times last year. But I do want to just tell you real quickly. This is the noun. Can you say that?
Deficiency.
Right. Okay. Now, to be honest, I hear the word deficient much more than I hear the word deficiency. So I wanted to show you that word, but as long as you know the adjective deficient, I think that's the most important part.
Okay.
Okay, buddy?
Okay, I got it.
All right, let's go on. Found this really cool picture I wanted to share with you today. So NASA is talking about radio versus visible. Now, do you understand what they mean? I know you know visible.
Yeah.
I know you know radio that you turn on and listen to the music.
Yes.
But that's not the kind of radio they mean here. Do you know what they mean here?
It's a whole space actually. That's what's the orange things?
Well,
Give you something about it.
yeah, let's take a look at it and see if looking at this helps you to understand. So let me put it in motion.
Oh, I got this.
Okay, so what you can see with a light wave versus what you can see with a radio wave. So
The visible light is you can see lesser things, but on the radio light, we can see the details much.
Exactly. And Rezan, did you notice as it moved along that sometimes things that you can see with visible light actually disappear with radio light? And I thought that was interesting because several times I was looking at something that seemed rather large, and like, look at these two bodies right here.
Yeah.
And watch what happens as they go through. They turn blue, and that one right there actually disappeared.
Yes.
So this right here, watch. Bam, it's gone. I think that's really interesting. Now, it is kind of funny for us to think of it, because when you and I say light, we usually think of, you know, this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. And when we say radio, I think of, you know, listening to music and things like that, or listening to the news. But really, radio and light are both forms of light.
Yeah.
We don't think about that often, but they are. So I thought that was interesting. I wanted to share that with you. Okay.
Thanks, Mr. Varian.
All right. My pleasure. My pleasure. All right. Teacher Rachel. Now, I understand the word that she's going to do today is very similar in Turkish and in English. So let's take a look at this word.
How is this word?
Are you sleepy, buddy?
We can say a little bit.
Did you have a long day at school?
Yeah, it's not past.
It's not finished?
The time is not passed at there.
Okay.
At school.
So are you going to bed after this class?
I think so.
Okay. All right. Let's take a look at this word.
How is this word pronounced? It's actually more simple than you think it would be. It's camouflage. Camouflage. 3 syllables. Camouflage. Sometimes it's abbreviated to just these 4 letters, and then it's pronounced camo. Camouflage. Camo. How is this word pronounced?
So are you familiar with that word, Rezan?
Yeah.
Who wears camouflage?
The soldiers.
Soldiers do. Sometimes people who go hunting wear camouflage too. Okay.
Or
And
the police. Sometimes.
Right. Sometimes. Show me that you can pronounce this. How do you pronounce it?
Camouflage.
Perfect. And many Americans shorten it and just say camo. And so when Rachel said this right at the end, she was pointing out that many people say it shorter, just camo. Okay.
Okay.
So, Rizan, did you ever think that you would want to be in the Army or Navy or Air Force?
Maybe at the Air Army.
Okay. You mean the Air Force?
Yeah, Air Force.
That sounds like you. That sounds like something you would like. That sounds just like you. Okay. So camo, very good. Next thing, let's go on to this. Speaking of arid, Mars is fairly arid. Now, you do know when I say arid, Mars does have water, but it's virtually always frozen. And much of it is below the surface.
Yes.
You and I read the abstract, and the idea was about what can we learn from the carbon on Mars, because we understand that carbon is related to life, that there's carbon in our bodies, there's especially carbon in plants, but carbon is related to life. So today we're going to read this introduction, okay? And I know that's kind of small. Let me make it bigger. Okay. Rezan, how about if you read the first paragraph? Stay awake, buddy. We're almost done. We'll be done soon, okay? All right. You read the first paragraph and I'll read the second one.
Okay. Am I start right now?
Yes, introduction.
We know a lot about Earth and what lives on our planet, but we don't know as much about other planets. They take a long time to get and aren't very friendly to humans either. Our closest planet, Mars, has fascinated scientists for a long time. Oh, sorry. Fascinated scientists for a long time. They are very curious about whether Mars even had life. What's that?
You make that a pinch big. Okay. They're fascinated about whether.
They're fascinated about whether Mars even had a life on it, or if it could support life in the future.
Okay, Rezan, one thing to be careful of, you did this another time. That's not the word even.
Oh, again.
Say it.
Ever.
Ever, right, if it ever. So be careful with that there. Okay, now, how do scientists answer these questions? Well, in 2012, NASA landed a rover named Curiosity on the surface of Mars. It is still there today. Curiosity is a special rover because it was designed to do science experiments. It has instruments that can figure out what elements are on the surface of Mars. It has a drill to help break apart rocks. Curiosity also has lots of cameras to take detailed photos of the planet's surface. Okay, would you read these last two paragraphs, please?
Curiously also had a built-in science laboratory. It's called the Sample Analysis at Mars, SAM. We used SAM to help us figure out if there could have ever been life on Mars. We picked a spot of the Yellowknife Bay formation on the planet. It looks like it could have been a lake-like environment in the past. Living things need water, so if there is any evidence that there was life on Mars, this is a good spot to search.
Okay. All right. Rezan, just so you know, again, I want to help you with one word. Say that word again.
Life.
Life. Right. Okay. Life. Now, I wrote down two words in the chat because I want to make sure you know these words. Do you know what they mean by elements here?
Yeah.
What are some of the elements?
The carbon or the hydrogen, the
right.
Oxygen are some of the elements.
Right. Can you think of any metallic elements?
Gold, actually.
Gold, silver,
and
iron.
Oh yeah, no.
Lead,
Iron.
aluminum. Okay.
Yeah, iron.
So you do know what elements are. Good.
Yeah.
Now, do you know what this is? And I put down in the chat, this word is a noun, but it's also a verb.
Yes.
Show me how you look if you're using a drill.
With my hands, actually.
Yeah.
To have an hole in the rocks or.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Now, just wondering, does your dad by any chance have a drill at the house?
Yeah.
Okay. So now the drill I have, mine looks sort of like, I have an older one that still has an electrical cord on it. It doesn't use a battery. So here are drills.
Oh, we have from these ones as well.
Yeah. Now, let me just see if it's got any pictures of this. Yeah. My drill is older and it still has a cord on it like that. It's not.
Yeah, we have from this one as well.
Yeah. Now, so drill, that is called a drill, but also when you use it, I'm drilling.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, that's what they're talking about here. Drill as in this is a drill, and when you make a hole, you drill. Do you know that drill is also a kind of test or quiz?
No.
Okay. Now, at your age, you probably don't have many drills. When you were a little boy, your teacher may have given you a drill on your math facts to see how well you could add or subtract or multiply. And a drill is just a quick test or a quick quiz to make sure you know some basic information.
I understand.
Okay. All right. Let's go back to where we were. Okay. And there is Curiosity, obviously, before it got sent to Mars. The Sample Analysis at Mars, SAM instrument, is a science laboratory on the Curiosity rover. This is a picture from before it was installed. So we're going to have to maybe for next week find a good picture of the Curiosity rover, because that was an awesome mission. And you know, it's still working today, 13 years later. Yeah. So think about this. This rover is almost as old as you. It's been roving around Mars almost your entire lifetime. Okay. Now, I want to just say this to you. Okay. Brian is flying with this pilot, and the pilot is having a heart attack.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, some people think that when someone has a heart attack, that they pass gas.
Yes.
That they fart. Okay. Now, I looked this up because when I first read this book, I thought, I have never heard of that in my life. Okay. And it's not scientific, but it is a belief that a lot of people have.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, in Turkey, I'm sure people have certain beliefs about health and the body and everything.
Yes.
But if you went to a doctor or something, they would say, that's not true. That's silly.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the pilot is passing gas, and Brian is embarrassed and doesn't know what to do except for the smell. Now there was a constant odor, and Brian took another look at the pilot, found him rubbing the shoulder and down the arm now, the left arm, letting go more gas and wincing. Probably something he ate, Brian thought. Rezan, if you wince, it means something hurts you.
Yeah.
So if you step on something sharp and you go like this, ow, that's a wince.
Okay.
All right, go ahead. His mother.
His mother has driven him from the city to meet the plane at Hampton, where it came to pick up the drilling equipment. A drive in silence, a long drive in silence, 2.5 hours of sitting in the car, starting out the window just as he was now starting out the window of the plane. Once after an hour away, they were out of the city. She turned to him.
Okay, now, Rezan, be careful. That's not starting.
Oh, starting. Okay.
Right. What does that mean?
I don't know.
When you stare, you look at something for a long time.
Oh,
Like if I was sitting here looking out the window, okay,
I got it.
you might stare at a pretty girl. Maybe. Okay. All right. Look, can't we talk this over? His mother said. Can't we talk this out? Can't you tell me what's bothering you? And there were the words again. Divorce, split, the secret. How could he tell her what he knew? So he had remained silent, shook his head and continued to stare unseen at the countryside. And his mother had gone back to driving, only to speak to him once more when they were close to Hampton.
She reached,
Reached
over the back of the seat and brought up a paper sack. I got something for you for the trip. Am I gone?
Yes.
Brian took the snack and opened the top. Inside there was a hatched the kink with the steel handle and the hand grip. Sorry. and the head was in the staunch leather case that had a brass riveted
Belt loop. Belt loop. Okay.
okay.
All right. Rezan, let me show you what what mother gave him. This is a hatchet.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is exactly like the hatchet he has because it's got a rubber handle to hold on to, but it's all metal. And that's what he got. And she also got him one of these things. Let me show you this. That he can put on his belt. You see that?
Yeah.
So you can wear it beside it. And I think because mom thinks he's going way far away out in the woods with his father, that she thought the hatchet would be a good thing to get him. So that's what mom bought him for his trip. Okay?
Okay.
It goes on your belt. His mother spoke now without looking at him. There were some farm trucks on the road now, and she had to weave through them and watch traffic. The man at the store said you could use it, you know, in the woods with your father. Dad, he thought, not my father, my dad. Thanks, it's really nice. But the words sounded hollow, sounded empty, even to Brian.
And try it on, see how it looks on your belt. And he would normally have said no. Would normally have said no, that it looks too hokey to have a hatchet on the belt, on your belt. Those were the normal things he would say, but her voice was thin, had a sound like something that would break if you touch it, and he felt bad for not speaking to her, and knowing what he knew, even with the anger, the hot white hat hate of his anger at her, he still felt bad for not speaking to her, and so to hammer her he loosened his belt and pulled the ring sights out, hence put the hatchet on the ratchet the belt.
Okay. Now, Rezan, this is what he did. See that picture? So now he's wearing the hatchet. Now, this hatchet's going to become very important in the story. Okay, I'm ready for Bauer.